Church part two, guys. Church part two. All right. So yesterday we was talking about church. I was raised in the church. What I liked about the church, how I liked the music, and why I started playing the keys and the drums. Yeah, that was church part one, basically. Church part two, we're gonna be talking about people in church. Okay, people in church, and honestly, and I'm smiling right now because not only am I reminiscing, but I've had some. I ain't gonna say I've had some traumatizing. Well, I can't say that. I've definitely had some traumatizing situations when it came to church, right? Um, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that traumatizing where I didn't want to go to church. Okay, um, I feel like if you was raised in the church, if you was brought up in the church, we've all had some type of trauma, you know, some type of church related trauma. Um, and even if you wasn't raised in a church and used to visit church, it might be something that you don't like about church. But we can't just blame church, guys. That's it with anything. Like I have school trauma too. All right, I have work related trauma. Like, but we're talking about church. So I'll tell you one of my instances where I'll never forget. So I had to be about like about 13 years old, about 13, 14 years old. And the denomination that I'm a part of is AME Zion, right? AME Zion stands for African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. All right, that's what AME Zion stands for. You got AME Zion and then you have AME. AME was the first, and then AME Zion was the second. Okay, the first bishop from the AME Zion Church was Bishop Berry, Bishop James Berry. Now, as far as the AME, I don't really remember, and that's my fault. But anyway, that was just a little brief history lesson. So, with the AME Zion Church, every year when I was younger, the members got to take a vote to see if they wanted the pastor to stay in the church or not. They would take a hand vote, right? At this point in time, the pastor would just they would stay in. Now, as I grew older, we would have to go out to church. They wouldn't even let us watch it for some reason. I don't know why. It really didn't bother me. But this particular instance, it did bother me. It literally bothered me. So, and I'm just gonna be all the way transparent, right? So it was this lady named Miss Green, and nowadays Miss Green, she's nice to me and everything like that, nice to the family and everything. But she was just so mean. She was so mean. In my eyes, she was mean and evil. Um, it was something that was going on, and I don't know what it was. My dad, he's a pastor. Just in case y'all don't know, like I explained that yesterday. He was saying something, and I guess she was out of order, and my dad told her to sit down or something like that, and she wanted to make a big scene and everything like that. So my dad, he said what he said, and she just kept going in, boom, boom, boom. She wasn't cursing, she wasn't using profanity or nothing like that. But I guess whatever my dad had said at the time embarrassed her, so I guess she felt like she needed her face back. So she was just like out loud saying what she had to say. And I didn't like that. Like that was like a little bit of my church trauma, guys. I ain't even gonna lie. But that wasn't the first. That was like the second. My first church trauma was when I saw somebody. I ain't gonna say I ain't seen nobody die, but I seen a dead person for the first time, like at a funeral. And that right there, I ain't gonna lie, that kind of scared me. I didn't want to go to a funeral after that. Like that was like really honestly like my first and last time ever going to a funeral until I got old enough and mature enough to handle that, you know? So, yeah, the first situation was the funeral. I saw that body in the casket just laying there. Just that was just creepy. And then the second situation was whenever Miss Green was trying to, well, she called out my dad in front of everybody. Well, I can't say that. Well, I can't say that. She called out my dad in front of everybody, was just saying mean stuff and trying to get her face back. Like that right there, like, ugh, that really made me upset. It made me upset. It made me angry. It made me not want to go to that church anymore. Like I didn't care if we didn't go, if we wasn't going to be a part of that particular church, just because of that one situation. And honestly, I never forgot that, and it even still to this day it bothers me, you know. But we all have traumas, especially when it comes to just life. Now, like I really appreciate church. Like I like going to church, and I told my sister, I said, whenever I do get enough money and I'm financially stable, I really want to go around to different churches and just experience the way people praise God. I feel like I don't know, I could make it into like a reality TV show, you know, but I'm not even really trying to broadcast that. Like, I just want to do it on my own and like take a toll, not like a toll, but a poll, like, and write down notes of everything that I see, you know? Like, I feel like that would be really cool. I really do. I feel like that would be really cool. Write down notes like, what do I see from this denomination versus this denomination versus this church, that church. Like, write down the details, you know? Like, I feel like I would really enjoy doing that. What makes the service intriguing? What makes the service boring? How was the music? How was the word received? Were people engaged? Were they looking or were people on their phones? Like all of that. Okay. Um, Another thing about church too, right? What I really liked the most was probably honestly, I used to like two things. I used to like communion because I like the little wafers and the grape juice, and excuse me, and I used to like watch night service. Used to stay in church the whole night from 10 o'clock to the next morning. Some watch night service you would stay until the next day, and then you have breakfast. I used to love eating the breakfast: the eggs, the grits, the bacon, sausage. Oh my gosh! Oh, off the chain, guys. For real, for real. In that church, like you wouldn't get no pancakes like that, but you get eggs, grits, sausage, hash browns, toast, the butter toast. I used to love that. I used to love that. Another thing I used to love too at church too, vacation Bible school was fun. Arts and crafts, going outside playing. I don't even know if they still have vacation Bible school. They probably do in some places. I used to love that, and I used to love going on trips like the youth trips, the children trips. I used to love doing that because you be around kids your age, get to play, you know, and just having fun. Like church was definitely fun when I was younger. It was like it's just part of the black. Oh, I'm spitting my bad. It's part of the black community. It's part of the African American community, guys. Like everybody that I grew up with, literally was in church. You might have didn't go to my church, but on Sundays there was not a lot of stores open at all, and if they were, they would close at a certain time. It was just different. But that's what I appreciate about life. I appreciate that about the church, just the experience that I received, the experience that I got when I was young. Like I can't compare it to anything else. Like you would have to be there and witness it with me. Church was just amazing, and me being a PK, a preacher's kid, right? Like I had to be there. I had to be there. Now, once I got older, like once I was in, was it middle school? I don't know, middle school. I really want to say like eighth grade, ninth grade, ninth grade for sure. I didn't have to go to Bible study as much. Some of the afternoon services I didn't, but majority I did. That's why I say some. But yeah, we didn't have to go all to all the services. But once I was little, like from 2 all the way to like 13, bro, I'm at church like at least 3 to 4 days out the week. It's only 7 days in a week, so you do the math. Revival, like I was saying yesterday, was so awesome. Like seeing the guest churches, seeing who rode in the church van, and I was always, I ain't gonna lie, guys, I was focused on the musicians when it came to the keyboard player, the drummers, but I was focused on the girls too. Like, I want to see, like, the guest girls, how they look. So I made sure that I was always looking good, smell good, grooming myself because I want to make sure I look presentable. I didn't want to look like a bum. So, yeah, it just teach, church taught me a lot of things, and it's still teaching me a lot of things to this day. Your appearance, your hygiene, your grooming, like all of that's very important. Like you don't ever want to take any of that for granted, you know. But guys, I can't stay on here that long. I gotta get off. I got more stuff I gotta do. This is church part two, and we might make church part three tomorrow. It just all depends, but I think I'm gonna do the listening party tomorrow again. I'll do another listening party tomorrow. Okay. But until the next time, guys. Wow. Okay. Until the next time, make sure you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. It's Philip Randolph, and we just finished talking about church part two. All right, so make sure you subscribe so you can stay notified. Until tomorrow, I'm out. Oh yeah. Next week, next Friday, October 31st, Holy Smoke Volume 1 is coming out. Make sure you go ahead and save that pre-link. It's in the description. And I can't wait to see you on Halloween morning, 12 o'clock a.m. Make sure you say that link right now. And until the next time, I'm out.